Hey, Miss Rushing.
Hi.
Okay, so I'm about to present my project on how my family can live more sustainably. Okay, so first, we should probably know the definition of sustainable, which is maintaining and conserving resources at a certain rate so that certain resources are preserved and can be used for later generations. So I'm going to summarize basically what I've been doing for these past couple weeks and why I've been going around the house doing so much research. So for the first topic, electricity, our house is a very big energy users. So we keep big items such as our washer plugged in all day, which takes up lots of energy. So for this evaluation, I gathered much data on things that are plugged in, such as TVs, washers, dryers, everything like that, the watts, amps, and volts. And I basically saw how long they were plugged up and or even in use all day. So the problems with our family are really just that we're wasting so much money by keeping all these items plugged in, which could all be, which when they're not in use, they all be like unplugged, so we could save money. And for the earth, electricity does produce waste, no matter how long it's turned on or not in use at all, such as natural gases that could affect the atmosphere. And for my evidence, I'm not going to go all the way through it, but basically we have 8 TVs in our house. That's the example I used, and we only use probably about 4 or 2 each day, and we keep all of these plugged in for 24 hours a day. And most of them they are turned on, and we don't even watch them. So basically, we're using 40.32 kilowatts per hour, and if you don't know, that's a lot of kilowatts. So the solution to this is we could reduce our amount of TVs being plugged in from 8 to 4. So this still is way more than we need since there's only 3 people in our house. So we could only be using 2 TVs or 4, which should cut it in half to 20.16 kilowatts per hour. And this solves the problem because basically, without us even knowing, we'll be reducing the effect we'll have on the atmosphere and the waste that we're producing. So for transportation, which also is a big factor in our family, we drive a lot. So the cars that we use, the car that uses the most, drives the most each day, is not being used by the right person, such as gallons per hour. So we should end up switching our cars in order to save gas. So our family is actually causing some of the pollution in the air, and is such as carbon dioxide, which is releasing harmful greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, which again affects our air and pollutes it. And the way that we get even gas is gasoline is crude oil. And once all of this decays in the ground and the soil and sediment is laid on top of it for years, the pressure of it, and once we suck it out of the seafloor, it creates petroleum. So basically what I collected for all the evidence is the person driving the Honda, which is less efficient than the person driving the Chevy, is driving the most miles per hour. So that means the person who's driving the most is driving the least efficient car when they should be driving the most efficient car. So the solution to this is switching the cars. So the person who's driving the most that day should be using the car that is most efficient, and the person who isn't driving the most should be using the least efficient car. Okay, water. And I'm pretty sure we could all say that we use water very carelessly and don't really think about how much we use. But our house, we do use water carelessly, such as the washer. We wash small loads, and not each time we don't fill it up all the way. And the problem with this is, so there are such things as aquifers in the ground, and they have to, so basically we have to pull up the water from the ground, which is very far under. And the people who make the wells, in order to suck all the water up, such as the U.S. and us, we suck the water up so quickly that it has no time to recharge at the rate we're discharging the water. So basically, the ground and the earth cannot produce water fast enough at the rate we're taking it all out. So our Maytag Bravo's washer uses 25 gallons per load, and we usually use all hot loads, which is 2 small. We usually do about 2 small loads a day if we average it out between our weeks. So that's 50 gallons a day. So for example, 50 times 7 would be 350 gallons per week, which is quite a bit. So the solution to this is only washing heavy loads and only washing probably 1 time a week, which would get more loads done in one day. Okay. Waste. Now, our family isn't really a big producer of waste, but the main thing I saw during the research was that all of our trash is mostly paper and paper towels and things like that, which we could reduce even less. And during this research, over 24 hours, I collected all the trash in the five categories: paper, cardboard, plastic, metal, glass, and waste. So the problem with the earth is, if you do not recycle paper and cardboard, it will go into a landfill and get buried deep into the ground, where other waste and liquids go for storage. We will want to generate less solid waste, so less is going to landfills and less. Well, it would be less things in the ground in landfills that will create toxins and could contaminate the soils. Ooh, I'm a little tired. Okay, and the evidence for this is basically I calculated percentages for basically what all we generated. So for paper and cardboard, we had 54%, which is more than half of our trash was paper. And for plastic, we had 25%. And for metal, we had no metal and no glass. And for waste, we had 21%. So the solution to this could really be, and once I examined the paper we were using, it was receipts. So we could start using the paperless version and having our receipts emailed to us, or any other way that it could be transferred besides mail. And also, we could start using reusable paper towels, the ones that you wash in the washer, so you wouldn't have to waste money on paper towels or throwing them away. Okay, and the result of this is, even though making some of these changes may seem uncomfortable, they ultimately will be the stepping stools to help establish our future. To preserve all the resources we feel we have plenty of are the ones deplenishing the quickest, and before you know it, they will become common and scarce resources. So making these steps might take some getting used to, but it does these little things that will change your grandchildren's lives, and so on. So live sustainably to protect not only our family, but the world. Yeah. You like that?
Am I allowed to talk?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, very good.
Thank you. Okay. Bye, Mrs. Racing.